Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are taking a brilliant source text, stripping away all the extra noise, and getting straight to the core of a completely dizzying reality. It's a fundamental truth about our universe that is literally so constant, we become totally blind to it. We're going to systematically tear down the illusion of a static world and build up a profound logical argument about the very engine of existence itself. So get ready, because by the end of this, you're going to look at absolutely everything around you and even inside you completely differently. Let's get into it.
So, have you ever truly experienced standing still? Think about it. Maybe you're just sitting on your couch on a lazy Sunday, or meditating in a totally silent room. It feels super peaceful, right? It feels motionless. Well, I'm here to burst that bubble. That stillness is a total illusion. The source material we're digging into today makes this incredibly bold, undeniable claim. Absolutely nothing in the universe is at rest. You have literally never, not for a fraction of a millisecond, actually been still. Let's look at the evidence.
Okay, let's dive into this. We tend to think of mountains as these eternal, fixed, immovable objects, right? But they are rotating right along with the planet. Rivers, they're endlessly flowing. Winds are constantly dancing around us. You look up, clouds are drifting. You look down, the Earth itself is shifting. Basically, everything on the macro scale is just this giant, dynamic, kinetic system.
And if we zoom into the biosphere, the pace doesn't drop at all. Grass is pushing up through the soil. Flowers bloom and fade. Bacteria are fiercely, rapidly dividing and multiplying. Picture a lion sprinting across the savanna, or cattle just slowly, relentlessly grazing, or larks singing in the sky. Life itself, at its core, is defined by pure, unadulterated motion.
Now, let's zoom in even further, down to the absolute fundamental building blocks of reality. It is a violent, invisible dance down there. Electrons are furiously spinning. Particles are pouring out in these invisible streams. Radio waves are surging through the room you're sitting in right this very second. Infrared radiates, gamma rays pierce, photons are literally flashing into existence. The whole universe is just buzzing with this relentless, frantic activity.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the author meticulously builds their case across four distinct pillars. Whether we're looking up at the cosmic scale, out at the biological scale, deep down into the subatomic scale, or inward at the physiological scale, motion dictates every single layer of existence. There is absolutely no escape from it. It's the ultimate universal common denominator. Let's actually bring this intimately close to home. You might feel like you're just sitting there chilling, watching this explainer, but your internal clockwork is absolutely roaring. The text points out that your heart is powerfully beating right now. Your blood is rushing through miles of veins and arteries. Your very skin is breathing. Your stomach is digesting and moving. Your nervous system is incredibly sensitive, constantly firing off electrical signals. Even your hair is growing at this exact moment. And, maybe most fascinatingly, your mind is wandering. Your thoughts are connecting and leaping from one neuron to the next. Consciousness itself? It's an active, continuous motion.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate paradox of our daily experience. You really think you're sitting perfectly still in your chair. But the wild truth? Just by sitting there, you are hurtling thousands of miles a day as the Earth spins. We are literally on a giant rock hurtling through space, while the sun, the moon, and the stars are rotating like lightning around us. And the Milky Way galaxy itself? Flashing through eons of time. It's this terrifying, magnificent cosmic speed that we simply cannot even feel.
And hey, it's not just physical space that's moving. It is the relentless, unstoppable motion of time itself. The source text actually uses a really deeply poetic and striking image here to make this point. It describes going from dawn to dusk, from the morning with black hair to the evening with white hair. It's this beautiful, powerful metaphor for the rapid, unstoppable current of aging and time passing. You can't freeze time, and you definitely cannot stop the biological clock. Time is really just another dimension of this universal motion. So, the crucial point is this. Let's actually slow down the pace for a second and look at the brilliant logical deduction the text makes here. Step 1. Everything is in motion. We've totally established that. Step 2 is what's called the law of pushing, meaning things only move because they are mutually pushing against one another. You know, a wind pushes the cloud, a river pushes the rock, a gear pushes another gear. So, step 3, if literally everything is just a giant chain reaction of pushes, logic heavily dictates that there must be a first push, a definitive starting point. Let's ask this heavy-hitting question directly from the source material. Where does the initial driving force come from?
If every single moving thing in the universe, from that spinning electron to the sprinting lion to the rotating galaxy, requires something else to push it into motion, what pushed the very first thing?
To solve this grand paradox, the text introduces a concept from the original language that we are precisely translating here as the greatest creator. And what's absolutely essential to understand is that in the context of this logical framework, the greatest creator isn't just presented as a religious figure. No, it is presented as a strict, unavoidable, logical necessity. It is the unmoved mover. Think about it. If there is motion, and all motion requires a push, there absolutely must be an ultimate, infinite source of that initial driving force, a force that itself did not need to be pushed. The engine requires a spark.
Which brings us to this final, really provocative thought from our source text. How can there be motion without the greatest creator? It's an absolutely incredible journey this text takes us on, right? I mean, we started by looking at spinning mountains and dividing bacteria. We felt our own beating hearts. We zoomed way out to the flashing Milky Way, and we logically arrived at the very origin of physics and existence itself. You simply can't have the grand, chaotic, beautiful dance of the universe without a first push. So the next time you think you're sitting perfectly still, remember this explainer. Feel the motion of the earth, feel your blood flowing, and just ask yourself, what started all of this in the first place? Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and keep asking the big questions.